Hi everyone, welcome to Angie Vlog. I hope you're doing good. Just give me a second, let me close this thing. All right, so I was just ready to do my astrology reading for the month of June and for the 3 months ahead, which is, but this is being really heavy in my spirit because I went in to look at the news, look at what's going on in the world. It's pretty heavy, and as someone who's an activist or someone who's, I know that a lot of people it's like, oh, well, you don't have to worry about that because it's not in your country, it's not in your city. So it's the same concept when we look at climate change. It's the same thing. And this is what I'm saying is that we can't have this mentality. I'm sorry. I just cannot be those typical psychic astrology medium empath light workers and people that just like, okay, well, we're here to raise the high vibration consciousness of humanity while other people are suffering. I don't believe that at all. And I know that it talks about, forgiveness and awareness and stuff like that. But as I'm sitting down here, like, I cannot ignore, like, God is pissed. Okay, let's just keep it in the, and I receive the downloads. Like, I'm trying to how can you ask people for forgiveness and forget when things like this are happening? And this is something where I'm trying to, connect with source and see what's going on, and I know that this is the human evolution and stuff like that, but when you're targeting and controlling women, the primary source, and trying to target women's human rights, reproductive systems and stuff like that, like, it's a huge, like, I don't give a fuck you, and I don't even, like, as I'm saying this, like, people who have an issue with swearing and stuff like that, like, look at what's going on with the world, which is exactly what they're saying, but they're not saying the words. Their action speaks better than words, right? And we need to acknowledge this, that removing certain human rights and certain laws in terms that protects women and children, because let's be honest here, it has nothing to do with children's and pro-life and stuff like that. Let's be real here, okay? This is a form to control, especially women of color, people of color. It has nothing, this is racist. This is what white supremacy and racism is. This is the work of the devil. And the only way that we can actually overcome and continue working on our divinity is not ignoring these facts and do what we must do. We cannot allow, I mean, and then I've seen also when you look at Canada of what they're doing about the situation, how it's like they don't say anything, but they're doing stuff in the low to Indigenous women too. So that's why it's like, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? And then saying that what happens in one city, it doesn't affect every other parts of the world is bullshit. You cannot live in bullshit like that, and I don't agree with that. And that's why, like, I can't just start doing my readings and stuff like that and ignore these things. And also, like, it's been predicted. We've been talking about this for many generations. Literally, when Trump and all these people got elected, and like all these stuff has been, and that too is like, when you blame the people, but those votes weren't really the people who voted, it's like a huge corruption in that system in the US. Like, these people are horrendous, and that's why God is pissed off. Because you don't want to know the worst thing about it? They're using God and the Bible and Jesus and Christianity. This is why religion cannot be mixed with politics, because it's not okay. This is why they use religion, the Bible and stuff like that to do horrible things, to implement horrible laws and say that God is doing it, that God is saying it. For example, this is something that now when I literally, before I come here, I pray and talk to God, but I'm telling you, it's very hard to talk to him and her because it's really pissed about this thing that just went through. Okay, some of the stuff, it's like he's allowing some of it because he wants people to, get going. Like you cannot allow this. Okay, those who are standing up and doing what they got to do right now, that's your calling. God is asking you to do that. Okay, and no, we're not talking about mentioning the Bible and God and stuff like that. Those people who are doing the horrible thing and accepting the stuff, this racist laws and stuff like that, like the same thing that I have an issue with this bill 96 that is here in Quebec. Like, I don't understand, like, where are the people not talking about this? Like, oh, we're just gonna let it happen, we're just gonna, that's it, we're not gonna say or not be okay with, like, we're not okay with this stuff, it's racist. So now that's what he's trying to say, is like, you're gonna allow all these racist, white supremacy, people who are not healed, who are demonic, just, you know what I'm saying? This is why he's trying to, like, allowing some of this to happen, but it's not gonna be for long. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, it's not, like, he's pissed not only because these people went above and beyond, and by the way, there's some heavy illusionism and witchcraft on this, just putting it out there. Also, they're trying to control women's wounds. That's why they're trying to do this. Also, there's a lot of demonic and people who are in power, who are in the government, who are, it's just to allow them to continue raping little girls and stuff like that. Same thing with the church. Like, that's what I'm saying, guys. You need to be awake. Like, stop being, like, completely, like, seriously. It's not, you need to be aware. You need to be woke. That's why I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling you, guys. Please like the videos so that other people can find this video, share it and put it out there, because me too, I'm dealing, not only me, activists, people who are speaking the truth, our content has been completely reduced so that people like you cannot find it, which is crazy, because this is stuff that needs to be put out there and talked about more. We cannot be ignorant about this stuff. Certain words, certain things are being literally censored, but they're words that actually need to be out there so people can understand, because that's what they're doing. They're making you not understand and believe all this fucking bullshit and then put God and the Bible on it. But at the end of the day, they're using that it's like in vain, because it's like, that is not the work of God. Like, God is not, and that too, like, there's someone, like, right now, I don't know who is this person. He keeps showing me her face. She's this blonde chick. She's wearing a red dress. I haven't seen it exactly, but I think it's going around. Some indigenous people are posting this or something like he's like pissed off. Like, this person is like, he says she's a vessel. Like, he keeps saying it's a demon. She's a vessel. She's talking about saying, like, I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe, I don't know. He's showing me that, but I haven't seen this. So I'm like, okay. Like, all the psychics right now, you need to listen to your intuition, because God is using, especially if you're an activist, if you're somebody who is of God, is not really religious, but you're spiritual, right? You're working with God, with souls and universe and stuff like that, and you're also awakened, an empath awakened, and you're also a psychic as well, and you're an activist. You're being called right now to do this. I know I'm not the only one talking about this. Prophetess, everybody has a role in this situation. You have to speak up. Also, I'm going to add in the description below, I'm going to look it up for places where you can help people with abortions and stuff like that, with funding abortion clinics and stuff like that. Like, it's not right what they're doing. You know that, right? Like, it's not right. It's not. And God is like, so not okay. And all of us, all light workers who are doing this, who are balanced and have that connection with source, you know what's up. You know that you're supposed to let go of the fear. He doesn't want you. You cannot do this work with fear. You have to. It doesn't matter. There's women and children and people out there literally like, this is not okay. Like, they're jeopardizing people's life and children's life right now, just like they did with COVID-19, just like they did with the pandemic, just like they're doing the exact same thing. But now it's worse. It's like they're targeting women. And then on top of it all, we have women also doing this, like, siding with these people who are like, they're psychopath. I'm telling you, like, this God is pissed. The same thing where he's showing me like something about the Pope or something like that. Like the fact that they accepted and they did all these things for residential schools, okay? And this is something that I've been asking because I'm an indigenous, right? I have indigenous bloodline. And I was in that sense, in that part where I'm siding with indigenous communities that we're not okay with what the Catholic and the Pope and stuff like that they have done to residential, children. And there's still families who are still looking for their kid, like, and they're still surfacing these burials and stuff like that. Like, how can we tell people and talk about, the Bible and Christianity and stuff like that when things like that was, allowed, kind of thing, and that's something that I'm still like, how can we forgive, how can we forgive and forget, like, and then that too is like, it's pathetic because these people are in that family who did that to those children, and now they're children who are in the government and stuff like that, Christians and stuff like that, are doing this laws. It's just really strange. And this is why, like, he's making me do this. Like, this is not the work of God. 11:44 on the clock for anybody who needs that confirmation. This is demonic. These people who, like, he showed me that person who went, she was wearing white or something like that and was approving the R weight or whatever the hell is going on in the States. And he was like, can you see, like, he was showing me, and I was just like, I was in, like, that's why today it makes sense, because if I would have seen that and I haven't been, connecting with him, being with Gaia, with Source, and in the park today, when I saw this today, I would not be in the mental, physical, spiritual way that I am right now if I would have saw that without having done that. Which is why he's teaching me ways so that I can deliver these messages as a possibly truthful I can be, and accurate as I can be, because I'm getting literally downloads, like, especially today when this law, whatever, was passed or overturned. I don't know what's going on, but it's not the end. Like he keeps saying, it's not over. This is just a catalyst. I'm letting it pass, just letting the enemy think that they're winning. But it's just for you guys, because you gotta move. We gotta get together, unite. And this is what he's saying. Like, this is not sleeping time. And I'm gonna explain to you. This is where he's saying that astrology, astronomy, and sciences, and the Bible, and the colonizing, and get into higher Christ consciousness, it's all connected. It's all one thing. And then getting into that new age, he said new age or new earth, but the new age now is kind of distorted now, so that's why he's kind of pissed off about that too. There's a lot of things that people are doing, like disobedient and perverted and all these fucking things. Like, that's why it's hard for me to put it all together. So I'm gonna try, I'm gonna be editing this, and trying to make it short so I don't, spend too much on this. But he wants me to put all together in a way that it makes sense. So he's showing me the same way I do science in my environmental science, how to explain in papers, how I do it in a way that people can understand. I'm gonna try to do that, perhaps do it with some tarot or something. He's trying to show me, so I'm just following the downloads and the guidance, okay? But one thing is for certain, God is very pissed. Jesus is pissed. The ascended masters are pissed, okay? Especially when you're targeting women and you're trying to control women and children. Like, God is not okay with that, especially blasphemous, people lying and using the God's name in vain. And these government institutions, I told you guys, I've been saying this for a while, but now it's like these people, anyways, he's letting them think that they're winning. And I'm gonna show you. I mean, astrology, if you look at other astrologers who are more experienced, I mean, they've been talking about this situation and how you know, the planets and everything also has something to do with it. I'm gonna tap more into also in the scientific sense in terms of CO2 emissions and earthquake and volcanic activity as well, which is all related as well. And then ignoring the signs, you know, and then adding now blaming women and doing all these controlling of women, which is really fucked up. It's but this is it. When change is coming, it's not gonna be pretty, right? It's gonna be very tumultuous, very, you know, chaotic, because that's how Gaia is too. Gaia creates ways to, you know, rebumble things. But yeah, let me make it make sense in a way, in a short version sort of, so that I can make it make sense for you. So we'll tap into, in the astrological, let's start with, yeah, they're saying astrology first, which we'll tap into also with tarot. I'm gonna make it sort of in a way that is healing as well, because I know that it's very traumatic and very triggering for some people, especially like women today, that have to deal with, you know, rape and sexual abuse and incest and stuff like that, and stuff that people put under the rug that you don't really want to talk about, right? But we have to talk about these things because it happens every day. This is the patriarchy, racist, white supremacy fucking bullshit that we live in, the oppressive system that we live in. These people think that they're gonna continue, and it's not. And I'm gonna prove to you why it's not gonna continue, okay? So keep the hope, keep the faith. I need you to keep praying though. We have to pray for everybody, not just in the States. Like, this is something, because it can be the catalyst also for other cities and other countries thinking that this is, you know, but no. Just like Mexico, just like they did in Mexico, these women, we're gonna show these people how it's done, okay? But I'm gonna show you, we're gonna do this in the right way, okay? With the help of God and Jesus and all the ascended masters. But I'm gonna show you how, in a way, to do it in a decolonized, higher conscious ways, okay?